Hello students, in today's session we will learn about the various tools that are used in running a food service establishment. Tools of management refer to materials or procedures that have been developed by the managers in the past and used as an aid to effective management. Tools of management can be classified into two categories. One is tangible tools and the other intangible tools. Tangible tools are those aids to management that have been developed by virtue of experience of the managers in different work situations. They represent a collection of those tools that resulted in successful decisions in the past. The tangible tools include organization chart, job descriptions and specifications, inventory records, standard costing sheets, staff appraisal forms, budget statements, price lists, work schedules, menu plans, contracts of employment, job analysis and benchmarking. Let's learn about each one of them. Organization chart. The basic tool for any establishment is the organization chart, which shows the structure of an organization in terms of how the various units or departments are linked together. The organization charts puts people and the jobs together, and therefore it represents the entire team involved in running an establishment at both operational and management levels. The chart indicates activity authority relationships which exist in the establishment. Organization structures can grow in two directions, either vertically or horizontally. In vertical structured organization, the person above assigns the work to his immediate subordinates down the line. As the length of the structure increases, coordinating the activities of the establishment becomes difficult, so the duties get divided separately for each unit. This results in horizontally spread structure. An organization chart indicates functional units as well. Functions and positions are represented graphically in an organization chart by blocks, solid lines and dotted lines. Formal authority relationships are shown by solid lines, while the dotted ones represent informal relationships. Organization structure may also indicate whether authority is centralized or decentralized. Limitations of organization chart. A few informal authority may not be represented in the charts. The chart does not indicate the extent of authority rested in each position. Many charts indicate structures as they are expected to be, even though they may not be so in reality. The structure does not indicate the nature of management activity taking place at each level, whether it is operational, creative or administrative. The major disadvantage is that people begin to interpret authority relationships as difference in status. Thus, the organization chart is useful but limited model. It identifies tasks, titles and the planned relationships between these tasks, but it does not show informal communication channels, cliques and actual activities performed in the organization. Job description and specifications. Job description refers to the definition of a job in a precise manner, indicating exactly what is done by people who are occupying or would be occupying job position in an establishment. Job descriptions are therefore effective tools for managing at every level of the organizational structure. As one proceeds along the chain of command towards the operative level in the organization, the job descriptions need to be more detailed, clear-cut and expressed in a language and form which can be understood by all the workers irrespective of their educational status. Job description of a higher level worker will be functional aspect of the job, but for a lower level worker, the description has to be more comprehensive, spelling out each and every aspect of the work. Thus, job descriptions are not only important aids to job performance at all levels of organization, but they help to draw up recruitment, set up salary levels commensurate with the work involved, provide the guidelines for training and aid in controlling activities within the establishment. Job descriptions also remove conflicts between people in terms of specifying job responsibilities of each person. Job specification. It is a statement indicating standards to be achieved for a particular job. It also covers duties expected to be performed, working conditions in which the job should be carried out, and the qualifications required. A job specification is generally used as a tool for selection of the right employee for a particular job. Inventory records. They include maintenance of stock records, order sheets, requisition slips, issue forms, equipment logbooks, and so on. All these records act as ready reckoner in times of need for monitoring of activities of the institution or for verification of stock availability, working of equipment, extent of usage of equipment, understanding of purchasing pattern, and so on. The inventory records help the organization to forecast the performance of the organization, aid in budget planning, and are powerful tools to understand the functioning of an organization. Standard costing sheets. Many companies ignore the need for cost control. The importance of being cost conscious is realized only when the conditions suddenly become competitive and the profits decrease more apparently. In reality, all firms need to be cost conscious. A standard cost is the expected cost of materials, labor, and manufacturing overhead required to produce one unit of the product. Standard costing sheets are used for the following reasons: to improve planning and control. A standard cost system compares actual amounts with the standard amounts to determine variances from the standard. In advanced manufacturing environment, standard cost systems are useful for planning. To facilitate product costing, standard costing uses standard costs for direct materials, direct labor, and overhead. Standard cost systems provide readily available unit cost information that can be used for pricing decisions. Staff appraisal forms. The purpose of this staff appraisal form is to provide a written record for the staff member and his or her supervisor on the nature of the former's job and his or her performance in it. The supervisors are urged to be frank in their evaluations, both for the benefit of the staff member and for the accuracy of this appraisal record. The appraisal will become a part of the staff member's personal file. The following aspects are recorded in staff appraisal forms: major responsibilities, supervisor's review of responsibilities, performance factor ratings, which is done for the quality of work, flexibility, initiative, dependability, interpersonal relations, safety compliance, organization, communication abilities, facing issues, and utilization of resources, staff development, and affirmative action. Budget statements. A budget is a project plan for the operation of a business. It is sometimes expressed in terms of money, but may also be expressed in terms of units or percentages. It is an important tool for managing all the operations as it establishes targets for future production, sales, purchases, recruitment of staff, and so on. Budgets are of different kinds and are classified and designed according to the use for which they are intended in various establishments. The budgets that are generally formulated in any catering establishment include capital budgets, which are cash budgets, operating budgets like sales budgets, labor cost budgets, overhead cost, office and administration, maintenance, and food materials. Price lists. Price lists are the lists bearing the selling price of the products. Price lists allow for comparison of prices between the competitors. Work schedules. The work schedules represent an outline of the work to be done by an employee. When this is to be completed within a time schedule as well, it is then referred to as time and activity plan. Work schedules are planned after considering the following aspects: analysis of all the tasks to be performed in a day, division of tasks done taking into consideration high and low production periods, complicated tasks are scheduled in the morning, effortless tasks are scheduled for the end of the day, substitution work given in case of staff absenteeism, all jobs given after considering their physical, psychological, social and environmental effects on the performers. The advantages of this work schedule are: more work can be done in a day, imparting a sense of achievement. Resources are better utilized, making work more productive. Greater involvement of staff and better performance. Help to identify materials, equipment, time and skills required for a particular job. Helps to establish a sequence in which jobs are to be done within a time frame. Helps each worker to know what he has to do without waiting for verbal instructions and wasting time. Menu plans. A menu is virtually a list of dishes planned for production in a food service establishment and may include full meal or snacks. A menu plan helps the organization in the following ways: it introduces the establishment to the customer, authorizes production of meals in the kitchen, helps to prepare shopping list of foods and ingredients, helps to establish purchasing procedures, determines the type of equipment, staff, skills and type of supervision required, determines the style of service to be set up, forms the basis for calculation of food and labor costs, overhead expenses, profits, etc., reflects type of customers to be catered, introduces new foods, foods of different cultures and so on, provides a means of developing good eating habits in people. Contracts of employment. A contract of employment is a category of contract used in labor law to attribute rights and responsibilities between the employee and the employer. Job analysis. Job analysis means analyzing jobs to know precisely what they involve. It is also referred to as task analysis, and it's a way of looking at jobs and situations in which a number of variables are involved. Job analysis helps an organization in the following ways: simplify interdependent parts of variables and reveal possibilities of improvement, can be used to develop procedures and also for better sources, helps in scheduling work. Job analysis is therefore a very good tool for increasing efficiency both in terms of speed as well as resource utilization, and can be used at all levels of activity, more so at the operational level. Benchmarking. Benchmarking is defined as a structural method of learning better processes or better techniques from other similar establishments and implementing them in one's own system. It is the third most widely used management tool in the world. In India, it is still a new concept. Managers are gradually realizing that it is important to identify key processes in order to satisfy the needs of consumers, which today is gaining priority over immediate profits in any industry, more so in the food production and service sector. Benchmarking sets the targets to be reached, the level of precision to be attained, specifies need for improvement and thus helps in winning an edge over the competitors. The second type of tools used in food service establishment are the intangible tools. Intangible tools are the qualities with which people are naturally endowed with or to some extent acquired through training and conditioning. The nature of intangible tools is spelt out in the following points. They are abstract in nature, not seen or handled, but they have an impact on the managerial process. They are innate and are reflected through a person's personality. They help to motivate and carry a workforce from diverse backgrounds towards present goals of an organization by utilizing them in decision-making processes. They are used for solving problems of staff and other resources, motivating people towards better productivity with harmony and mutual respect. Some of the intangible tools that may be used in a food service establishment include personality, trust, experience, social and interactive skills, self-confidence, knowledge, communication skills, leadership quality, goodwill, appreciation, training and decision making. Personality. It is the sum total amount of a manager's physical status, mental and emotional status, social habits, outlook or vision with respect to his total work and the environment. Trust. Trust is an important tool used effectively in situations when work along with authority and responsibility needs to be colleagues or subordinates in order to get work efficiently and on time. Experience is a useful tool for making decisions for the future in organizations having similar work requirements. Although the number of working years can be tangibly stated, every individual develops different levels of experience even in the same organization according to their management abilities and opportunities for decision making and problem solving. Social and interactive skills. Social skills may be used effectively as a tool by managers in the form of getting together informally with the employees over tea. This helps the staff to be at ease with the superiors while engaged in casual conversation. Managers become acquainted with the problems of their staff or their talents while socializing, which can later be put to use in functioning of the establishment. Self-confidence. Self-confidence is the ability to express oneself without hesitation because one is sure of one's own capabilities. This trait shows in a manager's personality, posture, voice and conviction in what is said or done in different circumstances. This tool helps the managers to avoid confusion, which can only result if he himself is not sure of what he wants to get done from others. A confident manager commands the respect of his team and does not have to demand it, has no problems of instructions not being followed, and the work goes on efficiently without close supervision. This is because instructions are clear, easy to interpret and followed even in the absence of the manager. Knowledge. Knowledge is acquired generally by interest and interaction with one's environment through informal and formal training. When knowledge gained is applied to the solution of problems in the work environment through use of a person's own judgment of the situation at hand, managers will be more effective. Communication skills. Communication skills are inherent to some extent but can also be acquired through training and development of individuals. Communication is therefore the most important tool of management when dealing with people. At the same time, it is most difficult to achieve effectively because it involves much more than just sending and receiving messages. Interpretation of what is being communicated is affected by a number of factors such as personality characteristics, sense of security or fear in the work environment, nationality and cultural background, sex, education and occupation. Hence, each individual interprets a message or a situation in a different way. At work, social and psychological factors have a pronounced effect on communication between people. In every network, there are two indices, namely index of centrality and the index of periphery. Index of centrality indicates the ability of an individual to interact in a group and establish smooth flow of communication with other members. Index of periphery refers to people who remain on the periphery of a network and generally occupy positions of low interaction. The higher the index of centrality, the better is the liaison qualities of that position. The higher the index of periphery, the lower the level of interaction, and therefore people at these positions in the network tend to be less well informed. Leadership quality. Leadership represents the set of skills and characteristics which differentiate the people who make an impact on other employees of an establishment. Leadership quality makes people look up to a manager for advice, feel motivated to work with him. Respect, loyalty, and love are generated in the work environment. Managers vary in the extent of leadership quality they possess because of their personal traits and individuality and the degree to which they themselves are committed to the goals of the establishment. Styles of leadership: autocratic or centralized, where own decision without explanation to subordinate; participative or decentralized, prior consultation with subordinate is required; democratic, where joint decisions are made; laissez-faire, where it involves delegation. Thus, a manager does not and cannot use any one leadership style in isolation at all times. Leadership style is a powerful management tool in food service establishment in which the degree of concern managers have for the people can create a comfortable working environment, trust and respect for each other. This is of course based entirely on the personality and other traits of the manager and his ability to inspire confidence in people who then get committed to the goals of establishment. Goodwill. Goodwill is the feeling of oneness with people, whether colleagues at work or customers who visit an establishment. It is an important tool for harmony at work as it inhibits ill feelings or jealousy in an otherwise competitive environment. It is that quality which makes customers come back to an establishment repeatedly because they feel at home, being served with quality food in an atmosphere infused with love and consideration, exhibiting good manners in a happy, comfortable environment. Appreciation. Appreciation is the finest, cheapest and possibly the best tool of management as it boosts people to work better. Managers need to stop criticizing quickly if a small mistake is detected. Instead, there has to be a tendency to praise the employees for work well done and to appreciate their talents. Training. With catering become more and more competitive, professional training of employees at all levels is becoming necessary for the management of operations. This is because training imparts knowledge of the various aspects of the operation and skill to deal with the influences of the ever-changing environment. Besides ensuring efficiency, training also develops the right attitude to work. When people are trained in groups, they get better stimulated to learn because of group participation, and this group spirit is later maintained at work. Training programs conducted by well-trained teachers should impart knowledge of the history and objectives of the establishments, relationships with other departments, the key persons to contact in each department, budget estimates as they affect the workers, preparation and service of food, sanitation and safety, and the existence of work improvement programs. In addition to those mentioned above, food service organizations and their implications at work are vital aspects of any training in food service institutions. Decision making. Decision making is the ability to forecast changes in the organization and its external environment and react in advance or be prepared to work at any level can be performed without making decision. At production and service levels, the decisions are related to materials, methods of work, quantities and quality. At higher organization levels, decisions are more related to planning menus, selecting equipment and suppliers, making purchases, costing and pricing. At still higher levels, decisions are made related to staffing, grievance procedures, trade union negotiations, establishment policies and investments and strategies for reacting to environmental changes. The process of decision making involves making a mental effort, listing out alternative courses of action within the structure of a situation, choosing a single course of action. Prerequisites for decision making are: these has to be a reason for making a decision, the course of action that are open need to satisfy the reason, and choice has to be made from among those alternatives. Thus, both the tangible and intangible tools aid in effective management of an organization in one or many ways. Thank you.